Hello everyone. Today, oh geez, that might be a little far away, so let me just move that closer. Today we will review I believe, yeah, just let me check on that to see if it is the second movie in this series, just before I say the title, or just before I say that at least, because I don't want to be incorrect, at least on this part. I may be, on some, well, yeah, at least on this part, before we even get fully going. Whoops. I yes, so it was. Okay, this was the second movie. So today we will review the second part, or second movie in the Ghost Rider series. I guess technically it was, even though I guess we couldn't call it a series because they never continued it from here, but the second movie at least of the Ghost Rider franchise. Let's just go with that instead. Um, I didn't really enjoy this film, I guess, the first time I watched it, but maybe that's just because I didn't know as much about the Ghost Rider character when these movies came out. He's kind of one of the, I guess, more uh, unknown, the unknowns of the Marvel Universe, maybe, or maybe he's really popular among some people as opposed to more of the mainstream ones like Iron Man and so forth. Um, but yeah, going back and watching this movie now, I think I enjoyed it more than I did when it originally came out, and maybe that's just because I know, like I said, more about the character than I did when this movie first came out, because I think I learned more in high school about the Ghost Rider character, and probably taking film studies and stuff, uh, even to this day, helps me kind of analyze the films a little bit better. And just watch for certain things where there's screw ups and stuff that gives me a laugh that maybe some people wouldn't even notice unless you're like a real critic of a movie and you're reviewing them kind of in the same way I am. But yeah, this movie was good. Um, so basically, this movie starts off with this child. He's been captured, I guess, and this guy Monroe is coming in to try to save him. So unfortunately, Monroe isn't able to do it on his own, so he goes to Johnny Blaze, as we all know is the Ghost Rider character, and asks for his help. And basically, in return, Monroe says that he will he is going to be able to give Johnny Blaze back his soul, because in the first movie, uh, Johnny Blaze sells his soul to the devil to become the Ghost Rider in order to save his father. But then in this movie, we learn that he really did it for his own selfish reasons. It wasn't for his father at all. I guess he just wanted to feel something, some sort of power. But then he wasn't able to control it completely. In this movie, he kind of ends up getting that control. And at the end of the movie, Monroe, uh, he goes back to the line that Monroe told him earlier, that the Ghost Rider was just a angel that went crazy. So he can feel the angel in him, and then he's able to bring the kid back to life at the end. So basically, this movie is they Ghost Rider is trying to save the child of Satan and this woman. So the child is half human, half demon, I guess is the concept there. So Satan doesn't have his full powers on Earth, so he has to use um, like a shell. So a human form, he has to walk in human form, and he doesn't have his full access to his full powers as he would in hell. So basically, he's trying to get the ceremony going so he can transfer his powers over to the child and become fully powerful, because inside that body, it wouldn't decay or die on him as quick as a normal human body would. So that's what Satan's goal is, and during this time, Monroe and Johnny are getting rid of his powers. So the bad guys are able to capture the kid again. Why can't I think of the kid's name? I mean, that's not entirely important. If you're going to watch this movie, you'll get to know the kid's name for yourself. It just doesn't seem to want to come to me, except for Monroe and Johnny's name for some reason. Anyhow, the one guy who's working for Satan, or what was the other name they used for him? I'm trying to think. Let me just look that up because that's going to bug me. So the one guy who's working for Satan ends up dying due to the fact that Johnny Blaze comes and finds them in a group, and there's this huge, like, and this is probably my favorite scene in the movie, there's this big long scene where they're in this construction yard, and they've gotten these, like, heat-seeking missile launchers to try to kill Johnny Blaze, but unfortunately when he's in his Ghost Rider form, he can't feel anything, or basically, he can't feel anything or be hurt by anything. So he ends up getting on this giant, I don't know, it had like a wheel on the front of it, and anything that he rides, it lights on fire. So he basically just like drives it through them all the people, killing them. And basically his special power is to look into your eyes and show you everything that you've done bad. So he basically steals your soul out of your body. So he's kind of like one of Satan's minions, I guess, in a way as well. So there's this big construction scene. Everybody dies except for Satan's main man. Satan finds him the next morning, and basically gives him the power of darkness and decay. So he can kind of take everybody into this weird little, like, almost like an alternate dimension, I suppose, in a sense. That's how I kind of perceived it. So they're like in this darkness, they can't see anything else around them except the darkness, and then he kind of like jumps in and out of it, and basically ends up just grabbing a hold of them, and they just decay into ash. It's kind of a weird power. What was I? Right. I wanted to find out the other name they gave Satan in this movie. I think the kid's name might have been Danny. Oh, Rourke. Right. That was it. Oh, yes, the kid's name was Danny. Huh, that's funny that I just remember that. So the kid he was trying to save throughout this movie was Danny, and the other name they gave Satan was Rourke in this movie, because I guess that was his human form in this movie. I think he was played by somebody else in the first movie, but I guess because he switches bodies right constantly, that kind of makes sense to have a different actor in each movie. I'm kind of sad that they didn't continue on this series, because going back now and watching this again, I realized how much Nicolas Cage actually fits this character just based on the fact of his crazy acting. And I mean, he is a good actor, but he always has that craziness factor to him. And his movies now, my God, they are excellent. Like, I think that Nicolas Cage kind of came into his own way later on in his career than he probably should have. But I guess he's kind of doing, maybe he has more control over what he films now, I don't know, but his movies now are really good. If you've seen some of his newer movies, you probably know what I'm talking about. They're weird, but they fit Nicolas Cage because he just has that type of acting skill. So what else can I say about this film? I think that might be it. But yeah, I would give this a 8 out of 10, just based on some of the animations. Obviously, were a little off with the flames and stuff, especially at the end where he's holding the child, and the flames don't seem to hurt him, but maybe that was just because he's part demon, part human, so maybe Johnny Blaze's powers don't hurt him. Maybe. It just seemed kind of like one of the bigger flaws. Other than that, I don't think there was much to this movie. I mean, you can definitely tell some of the action scenes what's fake and what's real, but anyhow, I mean, this was in 2012 or 2011, I think. One of those years. I think I have that correct. I'm not even gonna touch my phone again because I'm done my review now. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this film. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.